Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to Alyne's Kitchen, hosted by yours truly, Pooch. Pooch is in the house. He's taking care of business for Alyne because Alyne is taking care of business elsewhere. Good old Alyne, showing her true heart by out there caring for others. Boy, I'm sure they're getting some good care too, because I'm quite certain Alyne will take care of them. And I believe is Piggy's aunt. I believe who she's out caring for. But again, she's a little tied up and she graciously asked Pooch to come in and cover for her. And I'm gratefully obliged. Sure did. But we're gonna see how we can roll tonight on this one. I know Piggy will probably roll up in here later. Him and I were chatting just a little bit, trying to fill things out, make sure internet connection was all stable, all that good stuff. And I hope my audio's good because as you can tell, I'm in a different scenario back here. I moved over to the other side so I could more easily see the chat and be able to watch the chat. Now, mind you, I'm watching off StreamYard, so all of y'all's chat's going to come in here a little delayed for me, but if I see it, I'll respond to it. Just don't think I'm ignoring it if I don't do it right quick because I'm not watching YouTube, I'm watching the StreamYard. But I know Gary, Jailbait Tackle Outdoors, he's watching Pooch tonight so he can give a critique on how my performance is. I appreciate it, Gary. Sure do. Treasure Hunter's in the house. How are you, sir? And I know Brian from the Vineyard Farmhouse is in here as well. And I see Piggy's pop back up. We're going to roll him in here. Let him get in on this action too. Because I'm sure he might have a few things to say. There he is. Howdy, Piggy.
I got a kitty. Can you hear me?
I can't hear the kitty, but I hear Piggy. I sure do. I hear him. But yeah, Pooch's been awful busy. Pooch was busy today. As y'all saw, I put a little short out last night. I was racking out them shirts. I knocked them out, and I got up this morning pretty early and got after it again. I had to knock out some more, so finished up the order, packaged them, and delivered them. So Pooch is done with that. And then Pretty and I also took off to go to the store. And of course, we had to get that HTO. We even did better than that. We brought a gallon home of it today because we needed to have the backup. Nothing like that good Texas tea. We went inside the store this time, and there's all kinds of sampling you could do. You could probably go in there and sample every bit of it and walk out of there and not buy a darn thing. But we wouldn't do that because we like getting what we like. And better than that, the gallon of tea we got, Freddie had done racked up so many points that we got a free gallon of tea. And look at Piggy sporting the FBC shirt, full-blown country. And, Pooch has got everybody needs a friend named Pooch shirt on. Because everybody needs a friend named Pooch. Kickapoo Crafty.
It froze up.
Uh-oh. Well, I don't know if it's me or not, but dang it. Kickapoo Crafty, did you start early at Full Blown Country? I see some of it in the chat. Since LaDonna, I didn't start early, no ma'am. I think there was just folks that got in here prior, because I know Mike's fishing home. He left a note in there that he was working, but he shared it out. And I know Alyne had shot up in there and just said thank you for covering for her. Said I was a lifesaver, but by no means ain't no lifesaver. I would cover for anybody if I was asked. But more so, I just love Alyne to pieces, her and Piggy both. And Jailbait, Gary, he's asking how Tish did today. Guess what, Gary? Tish pulled off second place today in her 5K run. She sure did. Come home with 2 medals, participation medal and second place medal. She did really good today. Kickapoo, no ma'am, you are not late today. And look at there. There's Alyne. Welcome to my kitchen popping in. And y'all know she's busy today. Yep. But again, Alyne, since you're listening, thank you for allowing me to cover for you. I'll do my best to hold it down as well as you do. I was telling Piggy earlier, I should have got up some food questions. But I ain't good at pulling up questions. I'm more worried about eating. Because that's what I'd be wanting to do. Piggy's buffering. I hope I'm not. And actually, I don't know if Tish is in here watching. She says she is busy up in the house doing her normal weekly routine because she did run that 3K and we were going to go kayaking, but she did run that 3K, second place, and I knew it. I knew I would get a call from work at some point. Let me get it real quick. It's Mike. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, sir. Bye. Never fails. Always happens. Because I knew for sure I would probably get called because I've been called twice, no, 3 times today. I was even called last night, but that's all good. They're taking care of what needs to be taken care of. He was just reaffirming that with me. I like the Pooch hat. Never seen that before. You know, I made it. I wear it seldom. Pretty wants it. And Gary, don't think yours is coming too. I haven't got it out yet. I had a big rush of big orders to come through that I took care of, but yours will be headed out this week for sure. So yeah. But anyway, back to what Pretty's in there doing. Not only is she in there doing her weekly duties that she does. I don't like to call them duties because they're not her duties, but that's something that she does. She does pick up, clean up in the house, and probably ought to be in there helping her do something. But I know what she's cooking here in a little bit because her and I went to the store trying to find it, and we almost didn't even find what we was looking for. We were looking for the spaghetti squash. First place we went to, they didn't have it, but we found it at the second place. So yeah, we're getting ready for some spaghetti squash tonight. And man, oh man, I love that stuff. I said we better get 2 or 3 of those things because I'll be able to eat 2. At first, Pretty was thinking 2, but I said, no, baby, cut in half. Petite Jean River Homestead, welcome in. Appreciate you coming in here to check us out. Old Pooch is covering up for Alyne today. Alyne's busy, and Pooch is just hanging out for her and taking care of her spot. But yeah, this is all good because I enjoy it. I don't get used to, I would do a live on Sundays and Thursdays. But once that Wednesday night popped up, I snagged that one. And not only did I snag it, I get to have Pretty with me. So it's kind of turned in, which is quite all right because I love it. Pretty and Pooch show. Pretty and Pooch is trying to make something of that one for sure. We're definitely trying to make something of it. And I think we're probably, hopefully soon, going to start putting out some podcasts with Pretty and Pooch. Now, those probably won't run live. We'll probably pre-record them and maybe run them as a premiere so we can sit back and really get involved with the chat and not be more focused on trying to carry on. But we're going to probably try to come up with some good topics to talk about, her and I, our own topics off the top of our heads, and whatever we might be faced with, and whatever somebody might bring forth to us that they'd like to hear us talk about. But definitely looking forward to trying to get that off the ground and running. Susie Jacobson, welcome in, ma'am. Glad to see you here. And I'm sure all of you folks probably saw the reason Pooch is in here for Alyne. Hiking with Jackie boy. Howdy, sir. How are you doing, Kevin? I got a private chat that come up. I've never looked at a private chat. I'm back. Oh, that's Piggy. I'm back. LOL. Well, I know Piggy's probably trying to watch over his stuff over there, and that's okay because I know Piggy's good at monitoring the chat as well. Definitely is. But yes, sir. Gary asked about it earlier. Pretty went and ran 5K this morning, and it was a legacy 5K for a little boy that lost his life a few years back on cancer. Tish actually instructed him, I believe, in some gymnastics in his early life, and his mother, of course, we've talked about that quite a bit here lately with the loss and tragedy of loss. Sherman's Family Farm, welcome in. But she actually went in there and participated in that 5K. There's Piggy, and pulled off second place. And I knew she could do that. She probably could have pulled off first place if she wanted to, but her and her sister Pamela went and ran again this morning, and just a fine thing that they did for that family, and to remember that young little boy Nathan. I think he was 12. I may be mistaken. He might not have been that old. It might have been 7 or 8 years old, but nice gesture that they went and did. What's going on, Piggy? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Because I see you sitting in there, and Piggy's even wearing that FBC shirt. You look frozen, Piggy. And I hope Alyne, hope you're doing okay over there. There he is. I hope you're doing okay over there, Alyne. I know you probably got your hands full, but the person you're caring for is in good hands, for sure. I'm glad you're able to sit in here and watch, at least. That way you can kind of comment and let Pooch know if he's getting out of line on your show. But, what's a beautiful day here in Texas. I was really, after Tish ran, we thought about going and testing out our new kayaks. We haven't got to do that yet, but we're going to. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow if it's as nice tomorrow as it was today. Pretty Pooch liable to going to get out there and go float around in the kayak. I was going to say Pooch probably going to get out there and sink his kayak, but I don't want to do that. Marion Eastman, welcome in. How are you today? But Pooch was out here in this shop this morning, and I have got such a mess. I've tried to straighten up after doing my shirts, trying to straighten up, trying to put up, trying to find stuff. It's real easy. Now that Pretty and Pooch have moved in here and we have our little setup over there, not that it took away, well, I can't say not, because it did. Took away some of the space we had where we kind of kept things, and now I've moved a lot of it outside, but trying to find something, and I might have something in my hand at 1 minute and turn right around, lay it down, and not know what I did with it. It's crazy. Really need to get a little bit more organized in here. But I knew it. Once I got in here, once we set that little podcast video area up, I knew it was going to get cramped. So, but I desperately need to try to straighten this out to where I could find what I'm looking for without having to thrash through and just uproot everything. Which, if I was smart, as I was uprooting and going through everything, I'd probably have me a big trash can right here and putting stuff in it and just get it the heck out of here because it can get overwhelming. But you know how it is when you get a lot of cables. I mean, and believe you me, I have got tons of these cables, different cables, USB-Cs, USB, whatever the heck. And of course, everything's different. Almost everything. Everything seems to operate on the same, almost the same type of cable until you go plug it in and then it don't work. Because some of those cables will fool you. Some of them are charging. Some of them will transfer data. Some of them won't transfer data. HDMI, HDMI out, battery charge, audio in and out. Just crazy. And if you could only see what I have sitting right over here to the left, I've got 2 shelves so full of different kind of batteries and chargers and cell phone. You name it, it's there. And I don't even know. But I was trying to hook up a second monitor right here. I saw, yep, see, here I go. I'm not paying attention to the chat here. I got to go back, make sure I didn't miss anything. Prepared to do a live. I'm doing good. I'm trying to get prepared to do a live this evening. Sherman's Family Farm. Yes, sir. Go for it. No judgment here. I knew I saw no judgment here. Tish Ross, pretty. And pretty. Coach G, he's already asked about you. He want to know how you did. I told him. Everybody in here, how well you did today. So there you go. Oh, yep, there's Gary letting Pretty know. Jackie Boy, Marion Bimler. Howdy, ma'am. Welcome in here. Oh, okay. I'm getting down to the bottom. Now, as I said earlier, this StreamYard chat rolls a little slower than it does coming up on that YouTube. So y'all may be chatting away, and I might not see it for another minute or so. But getting back to my business with all this rigmarole I've got going on right here, because believe me, that's about what it is, a rigmarole. I know Pretty and I cut up about it all the time with the term rigmarole, and she also gets all laughed up when I start talking about what kind of outfit we got going on here, because it's a rigmarole outfit. Oh, let's see if Piggy wants to get up. There he is again. Ah.
Let's see if this does any better.
Boy, it sounds better.
All right.
It does sound better. How'd you do that?
I'm on the mobile device.
Probably is better. Probably way better. But looking and sounding good now there, Piggy.
It's a lot better, not newer technology than this old computer I got.
Nothing's guaranteed, though, because you could have a brand new phone and it still not work right.
This is true.
Yes, sir. But I'm glad you got in there. You got anything you want to tell these folks, Piggy?
Howdy, how you doing?
What's that?
Howdy, how you doing?
Yeah. Good. Folks.
That's about all I got for the moment. We'll get to rocking and rolling and see how it goes.
Yep. Well, I'm just happy, and it's a pleasure to have Piggy up in here with me, for sure. Let's see here. Thank you, Coach G. Just kind of watching these chats because I normally don't do that. But I was letting them know, Piggy, how discombobulated Pooch can get when he starts digging and thrashing through bins. I mean, bins and piles. And I go looking for something that I can't find it. But, you know, I know you probably know how it is when you got 15,000 cables of crap laying around.
Oh, yeah.
You get a cable, you get a new cable, different cable with every piece of electronic you buy. And I'm pretty good at trying to just keep one out and use it on multiple things.
I'll tell you, when I was in my mid-40s, I went and got me an associate's degree in applied sciences for computer engineering and electronics. It's out of date, But oh yeah, I understand.
Yep. Rick Still Venucci, welcome in here, sir. But yes, but I was letting folks know how I had this shop all kinds of tore up and how I'm trying to straighten it out again because we're getting cramped in here. What's going to wind up happening? I know Pretty's been wanting to get her own little shop. So I got to figure something out. I got to either figure out another little shop for her and then Pooch can store some of his stuff in her little shop.
Right.
I'm waiting to see the response.
You just need to build her own shop.
I got no problem with doing that as long as I can put some stuff in it.
Well, you need to build another shop for that.
That's what I was waiting to see if she had a reply to that. If I get Pretty and build her a shop, do I get to kind of hoard some of my stuff in there?
Yeah, she going to tell you what's the use of building me a shop. You gonna put your stuff in it.
Yeah, because it does work that way where what's hers is mine and what's mine is hers and it's ours, and we can just kind of commingle it all, and I can clean this one out and fill hers up.
I'd always been told in times past by others that they'd tell me, what's mine is mine, what's yours is mine, what's ours is mine.
Yep, and I'd already see her reply. She says, yes, I need a shop, but you can't put your junk in it. And the side eye is with it.
Folks, you might as well bite the bullet because you know Perry gonna get what Purdy wants.
Oh yeah, I know it. I'd like to build another one of those, a shop, shed the shop, shed the house, because I've got an idea of making an Airbnb out here. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I want. No, sir, Pooch. That's kind of what I want to do. You know.
Oh, Pooch, I'm gonna tell you that it sounds nice, but you be asking for a whole bunch of problems.
Well, I know and realize that, but I also know and realize that Pooch ain't got no problem tossing anybody out on her ears if I need to.
Well, that may be, but why encounter that problem when you can just avoid it and make money on other things and do other things? Yeah, then you ain't got to deal with people's mess.
Yeah, well, that's true, but I thought an Airbnb, or not a, what do they call those things? It's not a party house, but an Airbnb for folks coming in, because we're right smack in a pretty good area to where you could hit multiple places, get up in here, and if they just came and stayed a weekend, overnight, or whatever, it wouldn't be meant for long term. It would be short term for sure. But
well, if you do that, you'd want to make it a really nice one and make it kind of cost prohibitive. That way you get the serious folks and not the junk folk.
Exactly. And the way I look at that also is that'll give me something to do when I do retire. I'll actually have a little passive income and a job to do. Because Pooch can't wait. Boy, I'm counting it down till I can retire from hospital healthcare facilities. I am done with that. Man, I am so done. You heard it. I had a call come in a minute ago. You never get away. Pretty and I went to eat dinner yesterday afternoon, and I was called. Right. Just
right.
Never fails. But that's how it goes. Doc Roper, welcome in, ma'am. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Hey, Pooch.
Howdy, Doc.
But yes, Piggy's in the house with Pooch. And
Piggy in the house.
I'm hoping y'all ain't thinking I'm going to be popping up some food-related questions, because I was telling Piggy earlier that I thought about it, but the only thinking and questioning about food that Pooch knows is one of Piggy's lines. Where's my fork? Yep. Where's my fork? And you know what? I was just sitting here thinking too. I know Alyne put up Tish's signature dish. I hadn't even got to watch it yet. But I did see something about stuffed baked fish, which Pretty and Pooch love fish. So I'm
Oh, it
gonna
was
have.
good. It was good.
I bet it was. Man, Piggy, I bet everything is good.
Howdy,
I just
Purdy. Howdy, back road.
I just don't see how you do it, Piggy. How you can sit and watch and refrain from trying to get into that stuff while she's making it. Hey, Justin,
Yeah.
back
Hard,
row.
hard. Boot camp was easier.
Yeah, because I bet that wooden spoon, Elaine's got pretty good reach at you with on that.
No, all she got to do is threaten not to cook for me no more.
But she does keep you pretty tied up with taking
Yeah.
care of the dishes there on the side.
Take care of the dishes, get her other odds and ends as she needs them.
And the camera work and all of that. So, yeah, that keeps you pretty tied up.
It does.
Let's see. Trying to watch this chat and see if anything can come up on me here. Joe Bates already hit. Uh-oh. I had a bad day yesterday. I missed whatever Gary might be talking about, but hope all is well over there. Justin, there's Brian. But yeah. So tomorrow though.
He just said it was a terrible day. Hope for a better day tomorrow.
Heck, I do too. Hope it is. I hope my day's a better day tomorrow as well. But Piggy, did I hear you earlier say you're going to try to get out and do a little wrenching?
Well, I tried to get out and do some wrenching this morning.
Uh-huh.
But we're going to do that oil change on that car.
Yep.
But I'm too weak. The disability has me too weak. I can't do it. So we're going to schedule next month to take it to a place I trust and have it done. I got up under there, didn't have good wrenches to work with and everything. And I was able to get up under there, but I couldn't get it to the oil plug out. And, you know, I just don't have the strength.
Is that on the van or your car?
The car.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I just don't have the strength. You know, nerve damage, it took it all.
Well, I understand that, but I also sit and think, by golly, you better be careful when you're all up under them cars.
I had a jack stand up under it.
Yeah, but man, those things are scary. I don't even like crawling under a car with a jack stand.
Right.
I've got these ramps I can pull up on, but I don't know. And I need to do the same thing. I got to pull my truck in there, and I'm probably going to try that tomorrow. Get my truck oil change done.
Right. If I had impact wrenches and all that stuff, you know, I could have done it. But, you know, because the strength would have been in the wrench.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't have all that. And it's hard for me to get up and down. And, you know, just a whole bunch of different factors. So, you know, I'm accepting the fact that, yeah, I can't do what I used to do.
Right? I don't know that any of us can. Pooch is even finding out that he can't do it all. And I just saw Pretty reply to something in here. Oh, hey, Pooch, look at there. George Ross is in here. And that's my dad. That is my dad. Welcome in, Dad. Glad to see you in here.
Howdy, Dad.
Yes, sir. That's a good one there. That's a good surprise right there. And Dad, I'm covering for Alyne. Elaine's welcome to my kitchen. This is usually her slot. She's taking care of Piggy's aunt. I believe she's been doing it all week too, right, Piggy?
Yeah, probably going to be at least the middle of this next week.
Gotcha. And Piggy here, Dad, that's Elaine's other half, Piggy. Piggy's Piddles, and Elaine's welcome to my kitchen. A couple of very, very dear friends to Pretty and I, and to probably everybody in here.
You said it right when you said other half, because I certainly ain't the better half.
Well, that one almost popped out, but I thought, nope, I'm going to hold my tongue on that one because we know, you and I both know who our better half is.
You got that right.
Yes, we do.
Yes, sir.
Hey there, Kevin. Oh, I'm just watching this chat still here. But anyway, going back to changing oils and not being as strong as you used to be, Pooch is finding out that he ain't got the strength that he's got. And Tish and I talk a lot about this a lot lately. Just the fact of getting older. I mean, I'll be 57 this year in October.
Right.
Tish has got a birthday coming up. I won't give her age, but just know we're close. I'm older, but and hers is next week, by the way. But just the general things of walking around, and if you do by chance fall down, which I've done a couple times, and luckily I haven't been hurt, but the idea of falling is more up front. And I've had a broken ankle, a messed up hip, knees, back, and I know it wouldn't take much for me to fall and probably hurt, break something or whatever. But you just don't hop up as fast as you used to.
Well, I tell you, around my 50th birthday, I'll be 58 August. And around my 50th birthday, I finally incurred a final injury that broke the last straw, broke the camel's back. And I'm the type of person, I used to drive heisters, and I used to push my heisters for fun. That's the kind of strength I had. I'd girls would work in a cage, a 360-pound cage, and then put cones in it, and then they'd be in it. And when I go to pull it from the machine, I'd grab the cage up top of me, and I'd grab the cage she was in, and I'd pull it to me. That's the kind of strength I used to have. There wasn't much I couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got hit up under the chin by a half-horsepower drill, and it sent me flying, and it was the final straw. I had 3 discs taken out, and there were shards in my spinal column floating around my spinal cord, sawing on it. They weren't looking for me to come up off the table, not move neck down if I did. And I walk. It shocked them all. But, that takes the strength out of you, the nerve damage. You have to be careful of what I do, how I do it, one step at a time, literally. And,
Right.
And those type of surgeries will take decades off your life physically. And, so you can't tell it to look at me. People are shocked because I walk. They think, well, you ain't hurt. You can walk. I'm like, if you only knew. You work in a hospital, I'm sure you've seen situations.
Oh, yes.
And things. And, my first walk after the surgery was, what was it, Alyne, 70-something feet? And I had this one little nurse that had been taking care of me. She cried when she saw me walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My doctor came in and said, I heard you've been moving your toes. So I held my foot up and wiggled my toes for him. He smiled. And, I told him, I said, you saved my life. He said, no. He said, all I did was clean it up, basically, is what he said. And it's what he said and how he said it let me know I was beyond his help. All he could do was clean up the mess. And, so they were all amazed. But, Superman died that year. The strength is gone. So, I can't. That's why I couldn't do that oil change. I wasn't able to. I could tell, even though the tools weren't good enough and they were going to mess up on me, I could tell that plug was in there tight enough. I wouldn't have been able to get it out anyway.
Right. Well, Rita's Roost, welcome in. But I know, Piggy, we may look fine, but I guarantee you we walk around gingerly.
Oh, yeah.
Because we know One little tweak, one little misstep, we can go down in a heap.
And for me, that means game over.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, I haven't had an issue to where I've tweaked my back or anything, which surprises me because I think probably, well, it's been a little longer than 6 months, but Pretty knows because she's seen me stumble and fall a couple times and 2 or 3 times, and 2 of the times has been as of late. Granted, one of them was on ice, and one of them was just a few weeks ago when we were out to dinner and coming back. But it's funny because she watches out for me more than I watch where I'm walking. Because she'll point out stuff, let me know, watch where you're stepping.
Alyne will do that for me.
Yeah, because I know my ankles, they're just not as strong as they used to be. And it won't take much for me to roll one of them things. But talking about that surgery, and I think my dad, if he's still in here listening, when I was in my accident and messed my knees and hip up and had surgery, and the doctor, and this is an old school sawbones kind of doctor, didn't put up with no crap, straight up with you up front, and he no BS. But he knew what he had to do on me in order to fix me. And he sat there and told us they wasn't sure if I'd walk again. And man, I never will forget the look on my dad's face and how that, of course, I was young and bulletproof in my 18, 19 years old, 20 years old. And to have that thrown at you, I think it hurt my dad more than it hurt me. Of course, you know, Pooch, because I can tell you a little story after this, but he wasn't guaranteeing that I'd get up and walk again either.
Right.
And my poor dad, I just know what probably went through his mind. But the day of my surgery, and granted, I was cut open from one side to the other and halfway down my leg, working on the hip and pelvis area. And, you know, after surgery, I think I was in surgery 4 or 5 hours. But when I come out of there, all that morphine and anesthesia and crap, I had to go. I mean, I had to go, and that nurse coming there with the bedpan telling me I wasn't able to get up. I mean, I was like, no, ma'am, that ain't happening. Pooch is going to get up, and he's going to go to the back. And this is before, because nowadays they like you to get up. They want to get you up and moving pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I was told I was to stay in bed, and I was like, I'll be danged if I stay in bed. And I didn't. I got up, went to the bathroom. I paid for it afterwards, but I did it.
Right.
I'm still here. My dad's still in here. Well, I'm glad my dad's still in here listening to this.
Right.
He could sit and tell you some stories because I'm quite certain I've pulled off some crap.
I had one of them come in and they tell me how good I was doing, and I looked at them and I pointed straight up. I said, "This ain't none of me. This is all God."
Right? Right? But yeah, that's for sure. Because I think I've overdone my. Now I'm way more careful than I used to be, especially because the last little injury I've taken was a broken ankle in 3 places. Now I don't go jumping and bouncing out of the back of the truck and all that anymore. I'll set my butt down and lower my feet to the ground and stand up. Even that's kind of crazy nowadays. But Pretty and I will be going to restaurants. And that was something that we thought yesterday. That's something we could talk about, how we sit and watch people. Because Friday afternoons is when Pretty and I will go eat after work. We'll go to the Cracker Barrel or wherever. A lot of times it's Cracker Barrel because we love that place. We'll get in there and we're having supper somewhere between 3:30 and 4 o'clock. And we're thinking we're going to get in here and beat the crowd, and we're going to get home and be in our easy clothes by 6 o'clock. But yesterday we were sitting, I was like, babe, looking around, you notice the crowd we're sitting in? I said, this is where we're headed. We are headed. We are entering that mark of life. You know, you start thinking about that stuff, but we're entering the stage of life where most of the races run, and you get a whole different look at life itself and in general. And it just boggles. No, it doesn't boggle our mind, but we watch people and we think that's going to be you and I one day, and one day soon. So Pretty's going to be driving Pooch around here before long, because Pooch ain't going to be driving because he's going to let her drive.
Fortunately, that's one of the things I can still do and still do very well.
Yeah. Oh, I could do it pretty well. It's just I want to sit back and ride a while.
I like to drive. I always have.
Oh yeah, I like to drive too, but you know, some of the driving I've done's been long and hauled, and I don't miss. My nephew's decided he's wanting to get in the truck driving. Well, he's been doing it for a while, but he's finding out now the cost of trying to operate a big tractor on the road tractor, hauling freight, rock, gravel, whatever. But yeah, he's learning, and I'm quite certain. I think who knows how long he'll do it, but I guarantee you the first 2 years will be a big test for him.
I'll tell you what, them big trucks, it ain't driving the big truck that's the problem. It's the four-wheelers out there.
That's pretty much what drove me out of it. I don't have the patience to sit in traffic, more to have people cutting you off and running you. I mean, because you got no choice. Sometimes you just people
right.
think they can get in front of you and lock up the brakes, but
and then they want to blame you.
And then they want to blame you. That's exactly right. But even in my truck nowadays, I just don't have the patience. And I'll be dang if I'm sitting at a red light and it turns yellow, or if it turns green, a protected green arrow to turn. If somebody honks that horn at me, I'm going to throw it in park, and I'm going to sit through the next 3 lights.
Right. Well, we live out in the country, and we're on the country roads and everything. And one day, one afternoon, we went out to do what we do in the afternoon, and there was a bus come out a side road, did not even stop at the stop sign. It comes in at an angle. They never did see us, and almost run us off the road. And this was a bus driver, school bus driver.
That's crazy. I wonder if it was loaded down with kiddos.
I think there was a few on it, but not many. But, you know, I've seen it since, and it's going a lot slower. So some kids may have talked and told their parents about it, and parents may have done some talking to somebody, because it's been going a lot slower since I've seen it since then. But that day, I don't know what was up with them. They come right out of that side road. Never did even bother to stop for a stop sign, just kept going regular speed. And it was in a curve. I'm going around the curve to the right. And if I hadn't have bucked up and stopped, that right rear wheel would have crushed the front end of our car and probably caused all sorts of problems.
Yeah. I see Brian. I was just reading the comments, saw Tish's. Papa had to see me fall off a 10-foot, the top of a 10-foot ladder. I was more worried about him than I was myself. He was just so upset. It hurt really bad. Dang it, Brian. I know that's right. And I'm sure Papa was worried. Because we don't heal as quick as we used to. Sherman Family Farms. Well, it looks like I'm not going live tonight. My daughter's birthday is tomorrow, and she wants to go to the races tonight. So you know what that means.
Yeah, you're going to the races.
Yeah. Hey, you can go live from the races. You don't have to go long, but you can show what you're watching.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Might not be able to hear anything, but we can watch.
We can see those cars and hot rods going down the strip. If you're drag stripping, I don't know if races, dirt tracking, what, but any kind of racing's fun. Sherman's family. Oh, it's Alyne. Yeah, sounds like fun races we go. Off to the races we go, for sure. And let's see. Jill Bates said Tish's taxi service. I like that concept. I do too. I think I do too. I've had some questions come up, and basically one of my shorts that I did just last night, I had a couple people message me wondering when I was going to make the "Everybody Needs a Friend Named Pooch" shirt on, like I got. And I thought, well, if there's people out there that want them, Pooch can put them out there. That's for sure.
But now, Pooch, this would be a good time to ask everybody, since we are in disagreement as to how it should be. We should ask our ladies and everybody in here, which should it be? Should it be Pooch and Piggy or Piggy and Pooch?
Yeah, I think Piggy and Pooch sounds good. So
I think Pooch and Piggy rolls off better.
Yeah,
so we'll get a consensus here.
Yeah, the Piggy and Pooch show. And that way, whoever consensus is the best and on top, that means if it's the Piggy and Pooch show, Piggy's going to have to host and Pooch will come in. And if because that would be fun. Dirt track. Oh, yeah, man. I ain't been to a dirt track race in a long time. Treasure Hunter Neil. I was chief mechanic in the pit crew at the dirt track. Man, I bet that was fun. That's something I ought to do. I ought to find me an old car and make a dirt track. Because out here in Kennedale, there's a dirt track and an 8th mile track. Not too far from here.
That stuff gets expensive. I've got folks that are into that. And here years back, they talked about getting a head for one of the engines. Now, the head came off of a NASCAR engine. And used, this thing cost $10,000. And this was almost 10 years ago.
The head?
Just the head.
Oh, yeah.
One head.
Yeah.
So you talk about getting into dirt track racing, you talking about spending some major money.
Yeah, you put a lot of money into them trick heads just so you can ink out more CFMs and get the upper hand. Kickapoo Crafty says you need to make one that says I have a friend named Pooch at Full Blown Country. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a good one, actually. And while I'm on that subject, we've been trying to come up with the one for Pretty. And Tish and I both have been trying to think of a Pretty shirt. Because like this one here, we want to do one for Pretty. And just like my hat, Pretty wants a hat. So if anybody's got any ideas on that, throw them up there. Let me hear them. Or let us hear them, please.
What's that?
On the shirt for Pretty. Because I always say she's my Pretty. And my deal is everybody needs a friend named Pooch. What can we do for Pretty? It's still Pretty, Piggy, and the Pooch. Ladies first. That is right. That is right. I have a great idea at Full Blown Country. Let me hear it, Gary.
Well, we'll put it out there.
We used to have 2 race cars, and I traded them. Don't you hate that when you do something like that? Trade off something that you love? Because I've had a few cars I wish I still had. That's for sure. I sure do. I've got one out here now that I got from my uncle, a Ford truck, and I want to do something to it, and then I don't because I think I'd rather sink money into something else. which I've seen plenty of money into this stuff I got sitting around here, but I think I've got all I need for quite some time. I'm his,
You
yep, I'm his, that's what I was thinking. I'm his pretty.
yeah.
I'm also working on shirts for my channel too. Yep, my pretty is. We're trying to get some stuff done. And I think this Wednesday,
You could make one for her that would be specifically for her that says, you can have a friend named Pooch, but he's mine.
yeah, and I could say everybody needs a pretty, but she's mine.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping this week, Wednesday, we're going to try to do our live Wednesday night show outside. Hopefully it's nice. We can do it outside and have a good time and use some of that stuff that I've built for outside. Everybody needs a friend named Pooch, and every Pooch needs a pretty. That's right. Let's see.
You could have one that says, everybody needs a friend named Pooch, but I hold the leash.
Yep. A pretty would take that one. She would. She would. Jailbait Gary. Okay, so imagine this. It's kind of like a his and her shirt. Pooch wears a shirt that says, I ain't pretty, but she is, with a finger pointing at her, opposite for her. There you go. I'm liking these ideas. I'm liking
some
these
good
ideas.
ones.
Let's
Some
see.
good ones.
And every Pooch needs. Yep, that was Marion's little comment there. Let's see. Sounds like it will be a good time, Pooch, at Full Blown Country. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping the outside one's going to be really good. Ought to be fun. And I know we're gearing up for Mid America. And I know talking about that, this is some other folks' gig, but Justin, I know you texted me the other day, and yes, sir, we're looking forward to you coming down here. We're going to hit the road up there all together. Yeah, Pig, yeah, I've thought of that, and I meant to get with Alyne because, and if Alyne, you're still listening, if you could send me that file for Piggy's picture for his logo, because I think I want to try to make something so I can send it up to you here pretty soon.
Yeah, she's the one who put that out there.
Yeah. And she sent it to me before, but I think I deleted it accidentally. Or no, I didn't delete it. I changed computers. And when everything's got mumbled, jumbled, and lost, and I have a new computer right here that doesn't have all the files I had on it. But yeah,
Right.
Where's My Fork? That'd be a good shirt. I've always liked that when I hear that in Alayne's intros or whatever, when Piggy's like, where's my fork?
Where's my fork?
Yep. At first I was like, what? I couldn't quite make it out, but then I put two and two together and I knew what he was saying then. Where's my fork? 21 likes so far. Yes, sir. 21 likes. I appreciate it. And for anybody in here that's usually here for Alayne, thank you for joining me for being able to come in and sit in for her. And remember,
Yeah, you might could do the where's my fork thing with the picture and everything on the front and put a piggy in the house on the back.
yeah. Yep. Definitely I'm wanting to do something and send it to you. And also throw in a Pretty and Pooch sticker because I know y'all don't have one of them up on your board. That's for sure. But any of you folks that are here usually for Alayne, and if you hadn't been over there and checked Pooch out, Full Blown Country, y'all are welcome to come on over, subscribe.
And if y'all ain't checked Pooch out, y'all need to.
Please. That'd be nice. I would like it. And Pretty and Pooch is there most of the time. And No Judgment here with Tish Ross, her channel, when she's doing her interviews. And had a good one this last week. And I believe she's got a good one this week that was put off. It was scheduled earlier, but it was put off because the guest got ill, but she's better now. And she'll be on No Judgment here this Monday, 7 o'clock. And this is the woman that lost a daughter to human sex trafficking. So this ought
I
to be a
plan
good
on being there.
What's that?
I plan on being there.
Hope to see you all in there. Please do come on in. And I even still want to get with Alyne so she can teach me how to do some of this Nightbot stuff. Because I think that would take a load. I just like how you can put a little code word in, people could type it and let their channels show up in there.
I think she's got a couple of tutorials out on it.
Does she really?
I think so.
Okay, well, if she does, I need to get the link so I can do that and watch them.
And if you need more help, you can also look up at Mike's Fishing Home because he's got tutorials on how to do stuff on this YouTube thing.
Yeah, I think one time I set that up and had it on there and it was cutting a lot of people off and blocking them, which I didn't want it to do that. And that's probably somewhere why I can't see Danimal anymore. I don't know when I do see him or we can't communicate with each other. And that's a shame.
Could be.
That's a shame that we can't. I'm trying to see if something just hit. Oh, Alyne sent me a photo here. Let me see what it is. Oh, yeah, she sent me a couple photos. Oh, yep. That's the piggy ones. I got them now. If they're PDFs, that'll be great.
Rita, if you ask real nice, she might get in contact with you face to face and walk you through it. I think she's done that for someone else. I think it might have been Kickapoo that she helped do that way.
My Nightbot tutorials are in the playlist for streaming. Okay, cool. I'm going to have to go in there and check it out. You know, because I'm learning a lot still as of late. My focus is kind of turned towards more the YouTube and some of the tools that are in it as well. It's constantly been changing here lately. So for the good, but the podcast side, that's something that I was waiting for because I think that's really where Pretty and Pooch is going to gear more towards his podcast. And we'll still do our Pretty and Pooch lives, but we're going to try to start putting out some podcasts, like I said earlier, pre-recorded, host them as a live or a premiere where we could still be in the chat and chat, but let the premiere roll and have that. And then we can monitor the questions in the chats a little bit better. That's something I'm looking forward to. I'm debating if I should have Nightbot in my lives.
It's a big help, Backroad.
Yeah, I think it is. I really think it is. I think I'm going to try to study that a little more myself. And
with Nightbot, you can program it to where it can drop other people's links. It can drop your link, different information. I know All Around Sarah uses it to put little funny stuff out there. You know, just different things like that.
Yeah, but mainly just to be able to host and promote other channels and have them pop up in there. You could probably, well, I know you can because that's how Alyne does it. She can have those channels pop in and out randomly, you know, promoting others. But you can have those folks drop in that code word and have their channel displayed as well.
Right.
You know, I pretty likes to do that on No Judgment Here on that radio show. But, you know, you kind of feel a little funny when you're doing that because the other end of it, the radio station is trying to draw attention to them as well. So,
right.
But hopefully look for the podcast side of Pretty and Pooch coming soon. Even as well as Pretty's No Judgment Here, because that's going to go to a podcast scenario as well too. She's just adding to what she already does, so that's going to be a good one as well. But I think that's kind of the idea Pooch has had all along with all the changes he's been doing on the backside that y'all see is me trying to get it set up to actually do podcasts. I think it'll be fun. But we'll still have the folks in here with us. No Judgment Here with Tish Ross. I participated in what's Tistana's broadcast lately? I don't know.
Looks like it says Tatiana's.
Tatiana's, okay. Okay.
I may have said that wrong, but
Yeah, I think it is. I think I'm getting some other stuff here. Oh, 7 o'clock too. Wow. This time went by quick. Oh, there we go. Yep. Elaine's sending me that stuff as we speak. Thank you. Oh, yep. She's even got one in there. Where's my fork? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right there.
right.
I got to send Piggy a t-shirt with Piggy's piddles and where's my fork? For sure. Well, man, I can't believe this hour's already gone by. This hour went by quick.
It don't take long.
It doesn't. And that's the way Pooch rolls when he can get in front of a camera and just let his mouth run. Usually goes by quick.
Right.
And which I do. I like getting on there and letting. I probably ought to be a little more prepared sometimes, but Pooch usually flies by the seat of his pants, and he's pretty good about keeping it going. So I can come up with as y'all know, I can talk to that fence post.
I'd like to know where them wings on them pants are, because in your videos I ain't never seen no wings.
No wings? Oh yeah, you ain't seen no wings, but
must be some pretty good jet propulsion going on back there.
Exactly. And of course, y'all know you've seen Woody. My fence post retired from being a fence post, and he decided to camp out in the shop. So Woody Post is out there, and he's itching to get involved in something too. Woo! But folks, I've enjoyed myself and Piggy. Thanks for coming in here, and we'll kind of keep an eye on that consensus and see if we need to do a Piggy and Pooch show.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple say anything about it, but maybe over time we'll see something on it.
Yeah, that'd be good, because I do like listening to some of Piggy when Piggy speaks. Piggy's usually got some good common sense. He's talking and teaching folks out there. And I like it when you get out there on the porch in the mornings and Piggy's doing his rambling. He's letting folks know. That's
what it is too, rambling.
Yep, that is good stuff. But folks, 7:02. Pooch has got a few more things he wants to do while it's daylight still. I could set in here. And Alyne, thank you, ma'am, for letting me watch over your time slot. I appreciate it. And I love you. And I know you're doing your thing with your family over there, which I'm sure they appreciate it. And Piggy, you be careful out there. I'm kind of glad you ain't going to be crawling up under that car on them jack stands. Man, that worries the heck out of me, even for me crawling up under jack, because anything could happen.
Yeah, there's a multitude of reasons why we've decided we'll just take it to a place we trust and let them do it and get it done and over with.
Pooch is getting there himself to that point. Only reason I still do it because I can to a point, but you know what? It's getting a little more of being because I can. It's getting to the point where Pooch just don't want to.
Right.
But
it's not that I don't want to. It's just that I simply cannot. So, and there's, like I said, there's a multitude of reasons for wanting to take it up there to those folks, let them do it, and everything would be safer and guaranteed to be done right. So
that's right. Yeah. Well, you hopefully you trust them, but
they're that good. They have. I've been going to them for off and on for the past 20 years or better, and I have seen them grow from a relatively small shop, and they're now involved with a major tire dealer nationwide. Yeah, so they're basically a distributor for that company. They did kind of a merge type thing, and they are the pros around here in this region.
Well, that's good that you have a place to take it to then. But a lot of folks, I see they're kicking out of here. Again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I appreciate you, Alyne. I appreciate you, Piggy.
Oh,
And we will talk again soon. Everybody needs a friend named Pooch. And they call me Pooch. And everybody, for sure, needs a friend named Piggy, too. And I have a friend named Piggy.
you can call it a pet named Piggy.
But Alyne and Piggy, if y'all need anything from Pretty and I, don't hesitate. Love you folks. Love everybody in here. Smash that like button on your way out. And if I don't see you before Wednesday, Pretty and Pooch will be in there Wednesday. But we'll see you folks again soon. Love you guys. Dad, thanks for coming in here. Love you too. We'll talk to you folks again soon. Have a good evening, everybody. Thank you, Piggy.
Yes, sir.